Good evening. Welcome to a Thursday night edition of the Buddy Martin Show. Orange and Blue Bloods right in the middle of March Madness. It will be a shortened show tonight because of obvious reasons. Lots and lots of basketball. We'll go over a few of those scores if we didn't see them. Catch up on that. And we weighed in from out in North Carolina where the Gators are scheduled to play tomorrow night. Franz is there. He'll be checking in with us. It's Thursday night. That means Ben Troupe is here. Always good to have Ben. Got something to say. And then Coach Loren Meadows checking in from the women's basketball tournament will get to us and catch us up. Tennessee getting off to a win here tonight over a stubborn Wofford team, 77-62. We'll go over those scores, tell you about what we're doing, tell you what we're expecting, and all that coming up next right here on the Buddy Martin Show. Go tell your friends and neighbors we're here. We'll be here for 35 or 40 minutes tonight. And then we'll give you a chance to sit back. I will watch some of the basketball games as well, because after all, it is March Madness. And who wants to miss the games? Have you been watching them? Disappointed? I'll bet you one thing already. You'll want your brackets back, aren't you? Want a mulligan? Yeah, welcome to March Madness.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
Good evening. Welcome to the program. Buddy Martin here live from Ocala, Florida, God's country, at the house of my good friend Kurzweil Ponder, broadcasting tonight. Boy, they got good internet here. Wish we had it in Panama City. We'll catch up to you and our guys. Ben Troupe standing by. Already a little bit of controversy, not much, but the Norfolk State coach, the team Florida plays tomorrow night, not very happy about him being a 27.5-point underdog to the Florida Gators, and it says so. I know Florida's really, really good, and they run a great program and got great players, but we are not that bad. The point spread is like that, he said. Well, Coach, I'm not sure you know what you're in for, but yeah, 27 points is a lot of points. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't take it. I'll bet you this guy wouldn't take it. We'll go see what he's got to say about that. So let's go see if our friend Ben Troupe would take the points. Ben, would you take 27.5 for tomorrow night?
27.5?
Yeah.
I mean, that's rich now. It's gonna be hard not to take them points, right, buddy? But you know, the head coach of Norfolk State, for people that got, what else is he gonna say? We don't like the fact that he didn't say, you know, he's in Florida's real good, and which they are. They're incredibly good. 27.5. Look, man, go out there and play. You know, I get it, trying to save face and different things, but McNeese State, they got a big dub against them Texas boys. I mean, not
Georgia boys.
No, that's Gonzaga. Gonzaga beat Georgia.
Yeah.
But buddy, I will say this about this 2024, 2025 Florida team. Listen to what did the Tennessee coach say? They like the Noah's Ark. They got two of everything. The Mizzou coach comes out and says, this team can beat you in a lot of ways on the boards. But what Florida does to me better than anybody in the country, I would have to check the stats, is offensive rebounds. They get a lot of extra possessions on the offensive end. So happy for Walter Clayton Jr. coming back, first team All-American, SEC tournament, MVP, got Steph Curry range. If he goes left, he pulling up. I mean, that's it. I don't care where I am. But I'm just happy for Coach Ty Golden. A lot of controversy surrounding him the last, couple of seasons. I'm happy he got that behind him. He faced it. He didn't run from it, buddy. Because but to see the type of coach he is, the way he coaches, how his team plays for him, we got the 3 best guards in the country, bar none. And that's not taking nothing from any other team. And that's listen, and that's without Denzel Abbott. That's without Denzel. Now, Denzel, he ain't a part of the big 3. He comes off the bench, but our guard players, and I agree with something Jay Billis said. We got the best passing big man in the country. They got vision. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this tournament. I'm happy that Florida, is a 1 seed. The West is not gonna be no cakewalk now. It ain't gonna be no cakewalk. But
UConn right off the bat probably will be playing Sunday. So
I'm just saying. I mean, buddy, what was so incredible about this season was for everybody that has something to say about SEC basketball. How many teams in the SEC? 16. How many in the tournament? 14. Stop playing, man. You put 14 teams. So to have that many, that just show you the level of competition week in and week out in the SEC. Auburn regular season champs. Florida gets to avenge last year's loss in the SEC tournament championship against them. You beat Tennessee in Nashville. Now they probably drove. Don't even get on the plane, Tennessee. Just drive back to Knoxville. It's fine. But I'm happy for this squad because as great as our starters are, our bench pretty freaking solid.
Hadn't even seen Sam Alexis yet. Where did you see him?
I mean, buddy, let me tell you something. Coach Ty Golden has done a really, really good job of blending both, American talent and overseas talent. He done a really, because people kept saying why he go for so many players overseas, because the tallest player on the planet ain't even played yet. Olivier ain't even played yet.
Harry's not a bad player. Harry's a pretty good player too.
Well, buddy, I mean, if we can't find a way to utilize 7, 8, 7, 9, come on, man. If you can't find a way to utilize, his thing is going to be getting.
They already have found a way to utilize him. He don't need a ladder when he cuts the nets down. I
mean, well, buddy, let me tell you something. Whenever, Condon and them guys, they 7 feet, and they have to, if he lift his arm, they got to jump up. They look up to, I'm just happy he's on our team. I'm happy that it's easy to buy into what Coach Ty Golden is doing, because I'm going to say this. You're only going to buy into a program that is winning. That's anybody. It's so much easier. Buddy, if somebody said, buddy, we're going to take the top 10 young men and women from Florida School of Journalism, and they're going to be your interns. Okay. I can do worse. Okay. Bring them over. Right? Florida is finding a way to do it through development, and they got veteran leadership. They got young guys. I'm just, Will Richard. Listen, Walter Clayton Jr. is going to be a first-round pick.
Well, don't forget Clebjar.
That's what I'm saying. No. I just think, buddy, for this Florida team, they just do it the right way, man. Yeah. And they so excited. If Florida, let me tell you this: can Florida come back from a 20-point lead? Yeah. If Florida gets up by double digits, it's gonna be hard to catch them because of how they play. They rebound. They defend.
They keep pouring it off.
So yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah. Let me just say real fast, this is a short show tonight because we're getting right back to the games, watching the games, and we'll have just probably 35 or 40 minutes at most, and we'll be going over talking to Franz from out in North Carolina. He'll be sharing a few thoughts with us. I want to say when I spoke a while ago, I misspoke. I meant to say that score I couldn't see. I was out and about having my car service today over at Chris Spears' Prestige Auto, fine place, and I saw the score. Gonzaga 27, Georgia 3. I thought I was watching a football game there. Man, Georgia 27-3. Georgia's getting beat by Gonzaga. They wound up losing the game.
They got that great coach over there, man. I'm shocked. They got that great head coach over there, man. I'm shocked.
Yeah, he's coach for us. So, McNeese led Clemson 31-13 at the half.
Shout out to McNeese. I mean, buddy, listen. We watch March Madness for the Cinderellas and the Blue Bloods. But buddy, I gotta ask you this: when people talk about Blue Bloods, you hear about Kansas and Kentucky and North Carolina and Duke, and rightfully so. UCLA. Is Florida not a Blue Blood?
I think you have to say they were. You talk about that many championships and a winning program they've had. I would think most people would say, but obviously Kentucky's in another stratosphere.
No. That's what I'm saying. I said Kentucky and Kansas and North Carolina and Duke. You know what I'm saying? And so UCLA and different. But what I'm saying is, buddy, we act as if you can't become. Did Florida became a Blue Blood the hard way, right? It's not like they started out as, but buddy, when you start thinking about,
they're not born with the silver spoon in their mouth.
Yeah, powerhouse basketball in the South starts and ends with Florida, and because Kentucky is an original Blue Blood, I get it. But when if the goal is to win and win consistently, check. If the goal, and people say, well, they tell Florida, when's the last time y'all won a national championship? Ask every team other than Kentucky and Arkansas and Florida if they've ever even been to a natty. They're the only three teams in the SEC that ever won national championship. Florida went back-to-back. Obviously, that got broken by UConn. UConn is a Blue Blood, though. Yeah. I would consider UConn a Blue Blood in women's and men's basketball, but I don't understand why people be like, I mean, LSU had Shaq. It had Ben Simmons. Nope. Georgia had Anthony Edwards, Dominique Wilkins. Nope. Right? Florida, to me, has been yes, you're going to have some up and down years. I get it. Even there was a time that Billy Donovan went to the NIT and he told his players not to even wear their jerseys and stuff or wear Florida colors around campus. So I get it. But when we're talking about if they're Kentucky excluded, if what did it say? Arkansas up 71-67 over Kansas.
I'm reading the scores right now. If I can, I was going to say Tennessee beat Wofford 77-62. Arkansas, I think it's the final, beat Kansas 71-69. No, they got a minute 43 to go.
Yeah.
One of the teams getting upset in the SEC is the Missouri. Getting beat by Drake. Let's see if they can pull it out 16 minutes ago there. In that one, Drake giving them a hard time. Let's see what else we got here. Texas A&M is with 6 minutes ago, beating Yale. A lot of people like Yale in a game. I never did. I picked A&M. Then let's see what else we got here in terms of scores. That's all I got for the moment. So if anybody's got any, go ahead and throw them on there. That's what we got so far. And of course, tomorrow night, got against. Let's see. BYU beat VCU 80-71. Gonzaga beat Georgia, as we talked about before, 89-68. So there's a few scores. Nothing shocking, but a few upsets along the way.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you folks about our sponsors. Tonight, of course, Melton Law. They want you to know they got your back. If you need any help with the law business, they're here. They're granting you kind of a commercial-free night tonight. And just reminding you, if you need their help, they're standing by for you. They don't back down. Melton Law. Check them out. Offices to serve you, Ocala, Gainesville, Lake City, and Williston. Ben Troupe is with me. We'll be joined shortly by Franz out in North Carolina. He and Chris Spears flew out there today to cover the game. They'll be there, and they'll be here shortly. Let's see what else I got waiting for you here. Let's see. Trouble in Athens, brother. You better check with you people up there. Georgia offensive lineman Marcus Easley reportedly crashed a car into an apartment computer Monday night, leading to a suspension. Also, Georgia's Nitro Tuggle, name like Nitro. What do you expect? Nitro Tuggle been suspended indefinitely, according to the schools. So Tuggle, of course, the wide receiver, and he just has arrested on charges of reckless driving and speeding. They just having a terrible time with cars and alcohol and athletes in Athens.
I mean, I did see that, and obviously the last incident they had was when Jalen Carter, former top 10 pick for the Eagles, was racing one of his teammates, and ended up that the teammate he was racing got killed in a car crash, as well as a staffer for Georgia. Look, they said that Kirby Smart is having the darndest time trying to get these recruits to understand why reckless driving or speeding. He can't seem to get it over to him. But sometimes this is the way you get you get them to realize what's going on when they get in trouble. Because yes, when you're young and you have access to these fast cars, whether they fast or not, sometimes you find yourself on the wrong side of these things, but consequences have to be felt. If it don't challenge you, it don't change you. So when it comes to these youngins, they don't seem to understand that you the biggest ambassador at this school. You don't think you're gonna stand out in Athens or wherever you are? You're no longer just a regular guy or gal, for that matter. So the fact that these type of things are happening still at Georgia I don't think it shows a lack of discipline on Kirby Smart's side, and I don't think it shows a lack of him trying to get the message over to these players. Certain guys, buddy, think that they are, above everything else. Like, dude, that's not gonna happen to me, But when it happens to you, don't say that somebody ain't tried to help you, because I will not judge an entire program on the actions of a few, but I will say to those few, you should have to face harsh consequences, not just for you, but for your teammates and other players around college football and every other college athletic sport and college athletics in general. Because when people start saying, well, they're young, so when people start saying, well, they're trying to have fun, I can have fun and not do nothing stupid. So Don't give me the excuses, because we've all been in college before. To those of us that's been in college, whether you was an athlete or not, we all wanted to enjoy ourselves, but we also understood that I represent not just my college or university. What about my family? What about my hometown? What about the sacrifices that my parents made for me growing up to even put me in a position to have an athletic scholarship? So don't give me that nonsense. You're speeding, and you obviously can't drive because you got in a wreck, so you can't even drive, boy. Get out of here with that.
All right, so Franz joins us. He's watching the end of the game. What's happening, Franz?
Well, Arkansas is up 6 with 21.5 seconds to go.
I'm watching it right now, yeah.
In the battle of the
about 4 now. Only up by 4.
Battle of the former Kansas assistant coaches.
Yeah.
Best of friends, Calipari and Bill Self. Bill
Self. Is this win going to give Calipari another 5 years of, hey man, he's building. He's
who?
Calipari.
3-pointer for Kansas, 75-72, 11.9 to go. Oh my gosh. Cal's having to squeeze by on $11 million a year. I worry about the boy. I wonder how he's going to be able to, afford gas in his car.
I know, man. $11 million. Man. I mean, he's slumming it. $11 million to live in Arkansas, to live in Fayetteville. He's slumming it.
And the price of eggs is going up everywhere, including Arkansas. So, by gosh, it's going to take every penny of that $11 million to get just to squeeze by, Ben.
Of course. I mean, Calipari. I mean, listen, I have a ton of respect for Calipari, but if I had to guess who Calipari roots for in the NFL, I would say it's the Dallas Cowboys. That's who I think he roots for.
There's probably a good reason. If you're trying to keep Jerry Jones happy and among the billionaires, you realize, think about the billionaires Arkansas has got. They've got all the Walton billionaires, which is, I think, last count, there were like 12 of them in that family who have a net worth of at least $1 billion. They got the Tysons, and last time I checked, there's 5 of them that are worth at least $1 billion. That's 17. You got Warren Stevens, the largest investment bank that's not on Wall Street in America. You got J.B. Hunt. You see his trucks going everywhere in the world out there. You got the Reynolds folks of the Reynolds Aluminum Reynoldses. And life is just tough. I don't know, my gosh. They really, you think about it, they really, time out here. Arkansas, 12 seconds left. They reset the clock at 12 seconds. They got to get the ball in bounds. But, I'm pulling for Cal. They're both friends of mine. I'm pulling for Cal because it's the SEC. And after Georgia got bushwhacked today by Gonzaga, I mean, just absolutely, of course, I can't complain if it's Georgia getting bushwhacked. I mean, after all, Georgia is Georgia, and there is one reason and one reason only to pull for Georgia, and that is if Georgia winning helps the Gators get a championship.
Missouri's getting beat by Drake now, 39-28. Yale is 10 behind Texas A&M as we speak. We're joined by Loren Meadows. Let me tell you real quick a short version of Titan MRI and imaging. They acquired Highfield MRI. Joe Coloria started Highfield in 1997. Now he's back. Titan MRI Imaging now has 3 locations to serve you, 2 of them in Gainesville. You also can get the extra large cage when you go there to get your MRI. You also can get extra special care in terms of a appointment if you need to have it at nighttime. They offer the same great customer service and accept insurance. And through their convenient self-pay program, you can make your way through that as well. Titan MRI Imaging, thank you for your sponsorship. Now to Loren Meadows. She's reporting in from the women's game. What's their win, Loren? Women's tournament. What's going on, Loren?
Yeah, how you doing? This was the WBIT. Obviously, used to be the women's NIT. Now it's the WBIT. Florida got the win over Northern Iowa, 83-71. And senior Gerard Warren had a career high, I think 29. So the Gators, UNI was a scrappy team, a lot like their men's team, in the tournaments, just a scrappy team. But the Gators were able to get the win. And now they'll play either the winner of Hawaii and UNLV either here. If Hawaii wins, they'll play here in the O-Dome on Sunday. If UNLV wins, they'll make the trip out to Las Vegas to play UNLV on Sunday.
Good for Kelly Ray. She can get the end of the season on a good note for her.
Oh, yeah.
Needs this win really bad. So, all right. So, what's the score going? It just occurred to me if you took Noah out there and took the arc out of there, they'd have Kansas versus Kansas. Get it?
Yeah, no doubt.
75-72.
Waka, waka, waka.
They're going to, I think Kansas has just reached a new low in terms of their program. And this is not as big a win as normally would be. But Arkansas, it's, as you point out, Franz, a nice win for Cal. He's trying to justify all that money he's been making. And we'll see what happens. We're going to watch the last couple of seconds as we go. Meanwhile, scores, A&M leading Yale 69-59. Drake, pretty good drubbing on Mizzou.
Wow.
Yeah.
SEC struggling a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean,
Somebody told me to take McNeese State. I'm upset about that, Franz. I said, listen to you. Somebody told me.
I told you.
Somebody told me. I told somebody.
We're here in Raleigh, and everybody here in Raleigh is watch that game is going, that's our guy, Will Wade will be the next coach at North Carolina State. Got to tell you, this is fun. I got to tell you something real quick, guys. We're in the media room at the Lenovo Center. And they got a picture of David Thompson ripping down a rebound in front of Lenny Elmore. Mark Moeller is over in the corner. John Lucas is all flat-footed. Of course, John was flat-footed even when he was jumping at his best. He had a vertical of about an 1/18 of an inch. But I'm looking there on the press row there. There I am. I am immortalized forever on the press in the media room at North Carolina State's.
Hey, you can't beat that. That's only thing better than that if you'd have been under the basket when old boy got the dunk with Valvano.
Well, I got to tell you, I got a full beard at the time, so and the hair. Let's just say the golden locks were a lot longer than they are now. But it's really interesting because today the coach at Norfolk State, and I got to give him credit for this. He says, "I'm tired of being called the underdog." Well,
27.5 points.
28.5, okay. I mean, that kind of adds up, and so here we have the battle of the underdogs tomorrow. We could call this the Underdog Bowl since Carter Finley Stadium is right across the street from where we are. But you got Todd Golden, who has spent the year trying to convince us that the Florida Gators are underdogs. And all because he doesn't have a single 5-star recruit. Well, Coach Jones can relate to that. Norfolk State hadn't sniffed a 5-star recruit. Well, they got one now for the head coach for football. Michael Vick's a 5-star recruit.
No doubt.
I give him credit for that. But
I coached my first high school game in Carter Finley Stadium against Fayetteville Bird.
And guess who his first recruit is at quarterback? That would be Donovan McNabb Jr. That's who was going to be his quarterback.
Wow.
I'll score Arkansas 79, Kansas 72. I'm more for the SEC.
Wow.
Now here's a trivia question for you guys. Who's the greatest player in Norfolk State history?
Norfolk State?
Now you got me with that one, Franz. I'm usually pretty on it. You got me with that one.
Bobby Dandridge.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's why you need, listen, Franz was the original Siri. We'll just call him Franz was the original. Franz be walking by, people be saying, no, man, Franz, actually they won by 2 points. What's your name? Don't worry about who I am. Just be accurate when you're around me, and I won't interrupt your conversations.
Ben, you remember Ask G's? It's Ask Franz. That's what
listen, at the end of the day, Franz, the only person Franz had a problem with was his history teachers in college. Sir, that is incorrect. Franz, get out. No, I'm just telling you, I'm going to leave, but that's not right. I'm just saying.
He says, I was there in the Appomattox. I know better than that.
Hey, who do you think was sharpening Lee's swords when he got to hand them in?
Yeah. Well, they're going to say, when the Gators make it to San Antonio, they're going to say, is Buddy coming out here? I'm going to say, nah, he was already at the Alamo.
Hey, now, I got to tell you what. I know that I'm not going to, I'm not going to be staying there, but wouldn't it be cool if we could rent the entire 10th floor of the Emily Morgan Hotel, which overlooks the Alamo? How cool would that be? Well, they say the 10th floor is haunted, and people come out of there saying, I ain't ever coming back to this hotel. I ain't ever coming back to San Antonio. I may not even live for another day after this. But now I got to tell you, Florida, this is going to be for a half a pretty good basketball game. For a half, they will stick with Florida for a half. And then we're going to see what happens with Florida. Florida is they're going to get there and they're going to get annoyed. And when they get annoyed, remember that commercial Dennis Hopper did, it says, bad things, man. Well, that's what's going to happen to Norfolk State in the second half. Florida's going to get annoyed and then bad things. And it's going to be bad. It really is. The word here is that Cooper Flag, the Great White Hope, is going to be playing for the Dukes. And
you said it, I didn't. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you thought it, but that's okay. But Cooper Flag is going to play. He says his ankle doesn't hurt. Well, I guess not. If they shoot you up with about 20 gallons of Novocaine, it probably doesn't. But if he's got, a high ankle sprain, which is what they say he had, and to come back in 1 week after a high ankle sprain, maybe Benny Hinn came to visit him overnight or something like that. But or maybe they're invoking the ghost of Oral Roberts here, But they say he's going to play the first round, and he says he's pain free. It'll be interesting because that game will be here at 2:30 because they got 2 East games and 2 West games here. Going to be interesting too. That game that Florida will get the winner of UConn and Oklahoma. And that's going to be a very, very interesting basketball game. UConn does not have that dominant big guy that they've had in recent years. And the whole offense and defense that they run is predicated on having a guy that can stand in there and reject shots on one end, and down at the other end, they can throw up anything, and he can just chunk it right back in.
It does scare me a little bit, but here's the interesting. Maybe you know this, Franz, that when they played the conference tournament 4 years ago, and UConn got bounced, or 3 years ago, and the guy who beat him was from Iona, I believe. As I recall, his name might have been Walter. Yeah. And Walter Clayton Jr. was the MVP of that, and he beat UConn. And so maybe he can beat him again. Now, of course, UConn still got to beat Oklahoma. Anybody think they won't?
I think Oklahoma can beat them. I really do believe Oklahoma can beat them. I think Oklahoma has a decided quickness advantage on them. And, UConn didn't have that great quickness the last 2 years. But what they had was Conan the Barbarian standing back there at 7'9" and 499 pounds, back there, who blocked out the sun. He was so big. Donovan Klingen, I think his name is, or Klinger or whatever, Corporal Klinger. They had him back there, and they could get away with not being so quick, because if somebody beats you off the dribble and you have Mount Everest standing up there doing this, it's really difficult to put points on the board. So they got away without being so super quick. They're not great quick. Now, they do have a freshman that might be as good a freshman as there is in the country. His name's Liam McNeely, and he's really, really good. They've got a couple really good players. Don't get me wrong on there, but they're not this is not the UConn team of a year ago. They're not anywhere close to where they were a year ago or 2 years ago. They're maybe the 4th or 5th best team in the Big East. The best team in the Big East is St. John's. The second best team is going to give Auburn absolute fits on Saturday, and that's Creighton, because they got this guy Ryan Kalkenberger, who's 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, and he's a guy that can make Johni Broome have to use his right hand. And if Johni Broome has to use his right hand, then I guarantee you Auburn's in trouble.
All right, final thoughts.
Say hi, Chris. Come here. Wait.
Hey, Chris Spears, what's up, buddy?
Howdy.
What's up, Chris?
How you doing?
Good to see you guys. Been touring the country here with Franz this afternoon, between going to watch a couple practices and finding a restaurant.
Oh, he'll find the restaurant.
Hey, we did the Angus Barn. We did the Angus Barn tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad.
And trust me, guys.
It's a good one.
If
It's
you
a good
have
one. I've
never
been
eaten
there.
at the
It's a
Angus
good
Barn, Well, first off, you don't know whether you want to order the ribeye or just eat the cheese. You know that they bring with the crackers. That
Right.
cheese is unbelievable.
I've been there.
So we did the Angus barn tonight,
The
and
10-ounce filet was superb.
and I did the ribeye. But this is after coming in, and I guarantee you, the last 25 minutes of our flight was completely white knuckles because we had crosswinds like you can't believe, and we got a plane that's doing this the whole way coming in.
I didn't feel that in the front row, but Franz back there holding chickens in the last row. It was a little different ride in the back.
Well, you were up there. You were up there. You know, he had a stewardess giving him champagne, and he was. I gotta take. I mean, I'm a little worried about. He sobered up. Give him credit. That's because we had to walk from where we had to walk. It was a freaking overnight hike. Raleigh's airport, instead of having a terminal that's got, you know, like Orlando's got 5 or 6 places, and you take a little satellite train out there. Raleigh, you got to hike. And you better bring your hiking boots, and you better have a Saint Bernard there to bring you a drink because it's going to take that.
And if you miss the baggage claim exit and you walk to the other end, it doesn't help.
Well, we did.
I got to get Loren out of here. He's got to go back and finish up there. But Chris, I'm glad you guys had a good lunch because you know where my lunch was today. I ate at Taco Bell right near Prestige Auto. You know, but that's what it was. All right,
well,
guys.
we're going to sample the food at the Lenovo Center tomorrow.
All right.
And here's what happened when I used to be in the ACC and cover games here. They have a great ag school there at North Carolina State. They have the meat you had was mooing about 3 or 4 days before. I mean, when you talk about and they do burgers like they do in North Carolina, which is a cheeseburger that's got chili and coleslaw on it. Really good stuff. Not the kind of stuff you get at Mickey D's, that's for sure. But this stuff comes. I'm telling you, the cow was mooing. Just
hold on. So
days
for 3
before.
days before, they go, Franz, what? This is Lucille. Hey, Lucille, don't pet her. Because, well, you gonna be eating her in about 3 days. Okay.
That's right. You know, yeah. Here you got this kid who's, you know, this is Lucille. I've been raising her since she was just a little bitty calf, and we done been to 16 4-H's and won blue ribbons everywhere. And we're having it for dinner tomorrow.
All right, guys. I think it's getting time to go.
Anyway, the SEC. Trust me, guys, the SEC is going to be just fine. And, you know, trust me when I tell you this. Missouri is down 13, but they've now cut it to 8. And Missouri, at the end of this game, will be in it. Now, whether they win it or not, I don't know, but they will be in the game. Trust me on that one.
I'm going to go watch it. So you have a good night. And Ben, thanks a lot. You guys talk to you this weekend and appreciate it, Franz. Thank you, Ben. Take care. Good night, folks. All right, folks.
Everybody have fun tonight.
Yeah, we're going to. All right, Franz Beard, we'll check with you tomorrow. I want to say thanks to our sponsors tonight. I want to mention also that Renstar Medical Research has been a longtime friend, longtime sponsor of this show. Appreciate very much what they do. Also, they want you to take part in their clinical trials if you can. If you're in the North Florida area, go by and check them out or go online to renstar.net and find out what you can do. You'll be helping yourself. You'll be helping Renstar, you'll be helping the community because that's what they're all about, community and helping us get better. Renstar Medical Research seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Hope you enjoyed the program tonight. Hope you enjoyed Final Four. It's going to be fun. Tomorrow night, I would say Florida ought to win by 30. What's that? That means they would cover, right? If they did that. So, it's going to be a good weekend. Going to be some upsets, but forget about my brackets. I'm ready to trash them. That's how it is every year at this time. That's why I'm not a bracket guy. But if you're in that contest with earnings, I wish you all the best. Hope it goes well, and that you wind up winning all the money. So Having said that, have a great night, folks. I'm Buddy Martin. We'll talk to you over the weekend.